In this video, we're going to learn a bit of a vector superpower, that is the scalar product, also sometimes called the dot product. The scalar product is going to help us to solve some really amazingly difficult questions really easily. So it's a super cool idea and really useful. Let's have a look at what it is and how we use it. All right, in this video, we're going to prove what the scalar product is. So I'm going to start off with a definition, which is that the scalar product of A dot B, sometimes pronounced the dot product or the scalar product, but pronounced A dot B, is defined to be the modulus of A times the modulus of B times cos of the angle between them. So let's think about this triangle, where that's the vector A, and that is the vector B. Now, for the sake of simplicity in this proof, I'm going to just assume that these are two-dimensional vectors, but this works in any dimension, and the proof should make it clear that we could extend this to any dimension. It would be fine. Okay, I'm going to prove this, or at least I'm going to set up this result and show what A dot B actually means, or an alternative way of describing it by thinking about the cosine rule. So the cosine rule is true in any triangle, and if I take this as theta, and let's just think about this vector across here. Well, the vector from A to B is the vector B minus the vector A. Now, if I'm just thinking about the lengths of these lines, the cosine rule would tell me that the length of the opposite sides squared is the length of one of the sides squared plus the length of one of the other sides squared minus 2 times that length times cos of the angle between them. So you can already see something that resembles this dot product over here. So remember that I said we're going to assume these are 2D vectors. So let's say that A is the vector A1, A2, and that B is the vector B1, B2. So let's think what some of these are. So the modulus of B minus A is going to be the modulus of the vector B1 minus A1 in the I direction and B2 minus A2 in the J direction. And then the modulus of A is simply the modulus of A1, A2. The modulus of B is just the modulus of B1, B2. And since these are looking so good for where I'm heading, I'm just going to leave that as mod A, mod B, cos theta. And I forgot my squares on all of those. Maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't. All of those are squared. Okay, so what is the modulus of this squared? Well, to find the modulus of a vector, you square each component, sum it up and square root it, but we don't bother with the square rooting since we're squaring it anyway. So what we have there is B1 minus A1 squared plus B2 minus A2 squared. So that's the left-hand side. The right-hand side, well, the modulus of this vector is simply A1 squared plus A2 squared. And similarly for the B's, it's B1 squared plus B2 squared. And we're still subtracting 2 mod A, mod B, cos theta just tucked in here. So let's expand this. If I expand this bracket, I get B1 squared minus 2A1 B1 plus A1 squared. That's the first bracket expanded. The second bracket expanded is B2 squared minus 2A2 B2 plus A2 squared. That equals the right-hand side, which is A1 squared plus A2 squared plus B1 squared plus B2 squared minus 2 mod A mod B cos theta. Okay, quite a lot actually cancels here. So you can see that I've got B1 squared on both sides. So I'm going to cancel that here and here. I've got a1 squared on both sides. I'll cancel that here and here. I've got b2 squared on both sides, here and here. And I've got a2 squared on both sides, here and here. So that actually gets rid of an awful lot and leaves me just with negative 2a1 b1 minus 2a2 b2 equals minus 2 mod a mod b cos theta. Finally, dividing both sides by negative 2, I get a1 b1 plus a2 b2 equals mod a mod b cos theta. So that is the dot product. And what I've now demonstrated is that if you have two vectors a and b, their dot product, which is mod a mod b cos theta, is also worked out by simply multiplying their I values, multiplying their j values, and adding up. And if it had been a three-dimensional vector, it simply would have been the product of their I values plus the product of their j values plus the product of their k values. To give you an example, if I take two-dimensional vectors, 3, 4, and dot it with 2 minus 1, the answer is 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and the answer is 2. So the dot product, or the scalar product of these two vectors, is 2. Now, why does anyone care about that? Well, we also know that it's mod a mod b cos theta. And since it's very easy to work out the modulus of these two, that will allow you to work out what cos theta is and therefore what theta is. So it's an amazing technique for finding angles. Let me just show you what this is for 3D vectors. If I had 2, 0, minus 1, and I dotted that with 4, 3, 5. 2 times 4 is 8. 0 times 3 is 0. And negative 1 times 5 is minus 5. And so the dot product of these two vectors is 3. And again, since it's so easy to work out moduluses, I could simply set 3, their scalar product, equal to the modulus of 1 times the modulus of another times cos theta, and work out cos theta really easily. So I know this has been algebraically pretty busy, but this result, this definition of what the dot product is, and then the really simple way of working it out is super powerful, and it's what we're going to explore in the next few videos. So see you there.